Now, I haven't been in the habit of defending Anthony Albanese much of late, but look, as you know, Parliament gets pretty willing at times and MPs lose their cool and have a crack at each other. It can be pretty ugly and abusive. Now, I'm never too critical of that because it's supposed to be the national clearinghouse for debate and the big issues. But if you've seen it at its worst, then describing an interjecting opponent as sounding like they've got Tourette's syndrome, well, that's hardly over the top.
The idea that we're... Have you got Tourette's or something? You just sit there, babble, babble, babble.
Order.
Yeah, that was yesterday, as you know, and you can hear the laughs quickly turn to outrage, feigned or not. And soon enough, the Prime Minister had to withdraw and later make a formal apology.
I withdraw, Mr Speaker. I withdraw.
Yeah.
I withdraw. I withdraw and apologise. I made comments that were unkind and hurtful. I knew it was wrong as soon as I made the comment. I apologised and I withdrew as soon as I said it. But it shouldn't have happened. And I also want to apologise to all Australians who suffer from this disability.
Really? A grave apology from the Prime Minister for saying Tourette's?
Yeah, well, look, he made the wrong comment and he apologised for it, and so he should. It was inappropriate in the heat of the moment in the chamber, but he should be above that as the Prime Minister. That's not the sort of comments that you would expect from our national leader.
Look, this sort of thing is spreading. As you know, in this woke world, nothing's more popular than claiming victimhood or making big apologies. Listen to this on Radio National this morning.
What I feel is that sometimes some of our states, unfortunately European states, Western states, are a little bit schizophrenic about that.
And that schizophrenic approach that you've described it as, this more confused approach.
Yeah, an approach that might be described as schizophrenic. But you guessed it, later we got a grand apologia.
And can I just make an apology, a real apology, actually? My last, a couple of guests ago, actually, it wasn't quite the last guest, used the word schizophrenic in describing policy, which he used, and I thought he was a very interesting man, but yeah, I can understand why people are offended by it. And then I repeated it, and then I can only apologise for myself, of course, and I do apologise for that. It is... A few of you have made the point about timing with the Prime Minister apologising about the Tourette's comment. I think you're right about the timing. It just shows how, well, in my case, you can not think before you speak sometimes. And I heard the word and I repeated it, and I apologise. I don't think that we need to be using mental health or any of these issues to describe in a derogatory way, which was not certainly my intention. But I apologise and thank you for your texts.
Whew, that was a long apology for a quick comment. She's starting to sound a bit obsessive-compulsive. Surely this stuff is out of hand. We all know the left are masters at confecting outrage against anyone on the right of politics.
Anyway, it was a good meeting.
It was at the hospital.
Time doesn't mean anything when you're about to be, have water lapping at your
Not the kind of double standards and political game playing imposed by the Leader of the Opposition. Now looking at his watch because apparently a woman's spoken too long. I've had him yell at me to shut up in the past.
Yeah, we remember those examples. The left love to drum up outrage and social media pylons against Conservatives over virtually anything. But that doesn't mean the right of centre should respond in kind. Better to chill and rise above it. I mean, if repeated outbursts can't be likened to Tourette's and a confused policy can't be schizophrenic, what else is cancelled from our language? Are we so weak-kneed? Whoops, sorry, I don't mean to offend the arthritic. Are we so wimpish? Sorry to offend wimps. That soon we won't be able to say that a politician is blind to our problems or deaf to voter concerns? What about calling someone myopic or short-sighted? Is that a slight against the visually impaired? Can we describe a stumbling response as stammering or stuttering? It's all too much. We're desperate to take offence, sucking the life out of our language. I feel like I've got chronic outrage fatigue syndrome, if that's allowed.